Welcome to the Crimeycade podcast. I am a former Gamer of the Year, Stephen Lucas, current Pinball Expo champion, 91 Nintendo Campus Challenge champion. And, well, we're going to start with our guest straight away. I hope everything's up and running for him. And let's bring him in. Fat Chris, welcome to the Crimeycade.
What up? What's cracking, Lucas? How are you?
It's another one of, it's the start. It's getting close to the start of summer.
It is.
And
a little bit.
So moving the podcast to a later time kind of helps people because they want to be outside when the sun's up.
Of course. Sun doesn't usually go down till after 8, so you know.
Yeah, and then it's close to the longest day of the year, which is going to be in about 1 month from now.
June 21st, June 22nd, something like that.
Yes, something like that. The days will be longer. It'll be hotter outside. People will be out working in the yard.
We were doing that
today. Going fishing or playing sports or just enjoying the great outdoors.
Of course. John Candy and Dan Aykroyd.
Yes. Well, let's start with it because you've told me over and over it's past your bedtime.
It's so, I for those not in the know, I'm an electrician and I run my own shop, and I usually wake up around 6 every day, get the day going, and bedtime is usually around 10 for us. We got the 2 boys, Joey and Hero, and Araya, my awesome, gorgeous, hot Asian wife. We're all, we all run all day, and then we get done at night, and by around 10 o'clock, everybody's kind of at the end of the day, and that's usually when we go to bed. But I made a special exception for you, my friend, so don't worry about it.
Yes, I'm kind of a night owl. I stay up till like midnight most nights, because I've always been a late to bed, late to riser.
I can dig it. But it also has to do with maybe your job as well. Maybe you don't have to start your work at 6, 7 a.m.
Well, I could if I wanted to.
Understood. All right. Okay.
But I start like 8:30 in the morning. I could go earlier. I mean, former coworkers actually start at 7 in the morning, so they could go home at 3 o'clock or so. But
that's the benefit of working for yourself. You can go in anytime you want, really. But for me, I usually get to people's houses between 7:30 and 8 and do a lot of service work. I don't want to be that guy knocking on their door at 6:30, 7 a.m. So let them get up, get their coffee in, get whatever in, and then, get to work. And usually the day ends at around 7 or 8. And an hour or two with the family, do the shower, and it's time for bed.
So, as an electrician, you literally have the power.
Very much.
How long have you been doing the electrician?
Ironically, this month is my 13-year anniversary. May of 2011 is when I started, and I am now 13 years in. I run my own company. Work for myself, licensed, insured, state of Maryland. Shout out FC Electrical. Anybody in the state of Maryland, let me know. Yeah, it's good, man. Being your own boss, literally. Don't have to babysit anybody. Don't have to listen to anyone, and that's it.
And Cracker Jacks has joined us. Yo, Fat Chris. And as we stated a minute ago, yes, the family. But the family's all tucked into bed, although
the awesome hot Asian wife she's doing her accounting thing, and Joey and Hero are wrapping themselves up for the evening to go to bed. And here I am right now.
And the hype man JP has joined us. He's asking, where are the pizzas?
Pizza. Where's the pizza?
I have this on my notes to ask. I didn't want to ask it immediately, but, I might as well just kind of hit these in order. So what got you into being an electrician? Or what lured you?
Memorial Day weekend, 2011, me and my brother, we went down in Maryland, we have a vacation city about 3 hours southwest of where we're at. It's called Ocean City. And we used to go down there every Memorial Day weekend. And what we would do is we would just get a bunch of us, go down for 2 or 3 nights, and come back. So one of my brother's friends, his name was Millard Voigt. He's a good, very good human being. He told me the whole about how to get in and how much money he was making at the time, and I was taken back. And it just the money's all right, but the schematics and everything behind electrical, it's the greatest trade in the world. Any place on the planet you've seen a light bulb, there's been one trade that's there, and that's an electrician. Electricity constantly changes. The NEC, which is called the National Electrical Code, changes every 3 years. The world cannot live without electricians. So to me, it's the greatest trade of all. You don't need painters. You don't need carpenters because they can build things out of steel. But you need an electrician, and that's the facts. Not singling trades out, but I'm just giving a couple of examples. So,
and there's been, one of the big national issues right now is electricity.
It is. So a lot of people don't realize this, but with all these electric cars coming up, what's going to happen is if everybody starts to buy a fully electrical car, I mean, let's just say 1 in 5 families buys one. Each one of those cars pulls anywhere between 30 to 50 amps as far as a dedicated line or a charging station. If those things are being pulled all at the same time, that's going to put a heavy load, giggity, on the grid. And it's the grid can't take that much amperage all at once. That's like everybody having their oven on at the same time. You know what I mean? And it can cause some problems. It really can. It can melt lines, to be honest. I've seen them with my own eyes. So it's just time will tell.
Well, they supposedly wanted to do all these electric cars because they think it's not going to put as much fossil fuel exhaust into the air, but that's not actually true.
Hybrid. I think should be a moderation of both. I mean, I have 2 regular cars. I don't have an electric car, but I'm not an EV guy either. I don't want to see an EV in my driveway yet, not until I need to. So,
and I have a hybrid, and it does fine as a hybrid. People keep giving me static that it's an electric car. No, it's not a pure electric car. It runs on gasoline. If you run out of fuel, you will get stranded.
Yeah, 100%.
The pure electric car, because those power plants have to generate electricity to charge up those electric cars, and those burn fossil fuels.
Somebody actually walked into the room, changing the subject real quick. Somebody is actually one of your biggest fans. She actually wants to say hello to you. She said she wanted to join in.
Hi,
everybody.
Lucas.
Say hello.
Hello.
My awesome.
And you got the Goblin Ghost t-shirt on.
Oh, yes, I do.
Yes, she does. She reps.
She reps. Lucas, you are loved in our household, just so you know. I'm
Thank you.
A fan. I love it. Well, goodbye.
I'll see you later. I'll see you soon.
Yes.
So
maybe your next road trip to Goblin Ghost.
She's not coming in August. Thank God.
Not coming?
No.
Because it's after the Bahamas.
So when we all right. A little transparency. When we come in August, before we're having our family trip to, we're going out to the Bahamas.
Okay.
For that, after the Bahamas, we're coming home, but she's got to take care of this one, plus the other one who's laying there. Come here, Poe. Come here, Poe. And this is his father right here. And
I'm going to widen the screen here.
Go.
No. There we go.
There we go. Say hi, Poe. There you go.
Richie.
So she has to take care of the dogs because we're going to be with the sitter while we're in the Bahamas. And then me, and, Joey and I are actually going to come to Chicago. Hopefully Hero comes, but we won't know until the warden gives us an update. That's what we call her, the warden, because, she puts that stop to fun sometimes. Everybody's there. That's what I'm talking about.
So, being an electrician, that kind of translates well into basically repairing video games.
It can. It's a couple of my skills have been put to use when I started to do my Revolution X cabinets.
You have a bunch of them. I'm going to pull up one of these slides. This is one of them.
Yep.
That's just one of many. How many of these do you have?
So collectively, I've had 10. Currently, I have 6. And the reason for that is that game. I mean, everybody who's played it knows that it's the most cheesy, goofy game ever. How it came to fruition, I don't know. But the fact is, it's a fun game, and it's my favorite arcade game of all time. I played it in what we used to have is called Timeout. That was Coast. I don't know if it was anywhere else. And I played it back in '94 when it first came out, and I was addicted. This cabinet's not really worth a lot of money, and they sit a lot because they're gun games. Gun games eat more junk and sit longer than a normal arcade game because not everybody can walk up and play a gun game, but everybody can walk up and press buttons on a fighting game or Mario.
Yeah.
Whatever. So a lot of these cabinets, they'll bite the dust, and people will not take time to repair them. And what they'll do is they'll take all the parts off. They'll take the marquee out. They'll take the glass, the control panel with the 2 guns, and they'll take the boards out and sell the parts, and they'll trash the cabinet. I've been fortunate enough to come across these cabinets all for less than $300, $400 each. I've brought 3 of them back to life. I've had to fire 2 because the cabinets were not repairable. And I actually have a 3-player that I picked up in northern Jersey that actually was owned by Todd Tuckey. Shout out Mr. Tuckey, TNT Amusements. He has sold 3 Revolution X 3-player machines in his 40+ years of his business. One of them was on a YouTube video. One of them fell off the back of a truck into a million pieces, and the other one he did.
Oh gosh!
And I have the one that
you hate this. You hate to hear that.
God, don't. Jeez Louise.
Well, there's only unfortunately, yeah, the Revolution X falling off the truck, just any game falling off a truck and breaking into pieces is bad enough.
Yeah.
I've heard of one of the 10 built Kroll pinball machines. One of those fell out of a truck and broke into a million pieces. And there's only 10 that were ever built.
Oh my God, don't get me started on it. When I see
it sucks.
Oh my God, it makes me cringe, and I'm just like, oh, a little piece of me dies. Even if it's a pinball machine, and I'm not a pinball fan. A lot of people know that. So, but
well,
yeah.
It's a prototype. That's even worse. And geez, one other thing. About a week ago, actually, a week ago or so, I was clued in about a warehouse raid. Well, it wasn't an emergency because the roof collapsed, and they had to basically salvage what was in there before the building got demolished. And of course, there were games stored in there, and they were ruined by the weather. Yeah, sucks. Whatever parts were salvaged, they were salvaged. Yeah, you hate to hear it.
Dude, don't get me started. Anytime I hear stuff like that, again, it just makes me cringe. It makes me feel bad for the owner too. You know.
And that's another thing, though. I hear about these barn finds. It's like,
I don't know.
They're storing these games in these places, and for decades, it's like there's demand for those games now because of all these retro arcades opening. It's like, why are you sitting on them?
These old heads that, that were 30 and 40 when they got them, and now they're 60 and 70. They have that hoarder mindset. I used to wonder why people have arcade games in storage cabinets or in storage lockers, like a public storage or a Cube Smart. So why do you do that? And unfortunately, I'm one of those people now, and I have 11 cabinets stored in storage units because I can only have one in our house at a time because the warden.
You know what I did? I think I've told you this. I built. So my arcade games were in the basement of my house.
Okay.
If I wanted any more, or if I wanted to trade them, they had to get on a ground floor. So they had to come out of the basement. Now, where would I put them? Well, what I did was have my original garage torn down and a new garage built with a room on the back,
Okay.
air conditioned and
Okay.
heated, and I put carpet tiles down.
That's it.
Yeah, it's a
That's it.
nice little room.
You put a little mini split in there?
A mini split was that?
Mini split is a ductless HVAC system. It's a heat or air conditioner.
It is one of those. It's kind of like a window unit, but it's in its
Okay.
own little
Yeah,
space.
yeah, that's fine. As long as it heats or cools, man, that's all that matters, really.
Yes, that's what I wanted.
Good.
Dual unit, and during the winter, I don't have to run. I only have to run the heat up to like. There's a minimal amount of heat that could go in, and it'll keep it like the games will be fine at 55 degrees in the garage over the winter.
Okay.
And if I go in there to game, I can turn the heat up, play until I'm done.
Turn it off.
But I haven't had to run the AC very much at all unless it's super hot outside because that room, yeah, it's insulated, the garage.
Uh-huh.
The room is shaded by a big tree behind the garage, which I did not have taken down.
The sun probably doesn't beat that side of the garage.
No, it doesn't. And
what's up?
It's awesome.
I love
that. I've streamed back there. I'm gonna probably stream that. I'm gonna stream on Monday. Since it's a holiday.
Too.
Say again?
Your pocket probably loves that too, not having to run a unit.
Only when needed.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm not back there or if I'm not in the room, yeah, I just only need to run it when I'm in there. That's it.
Of course. Excuse me for a second. It is the end of the day for me. Forgive me.
Well, it's a holiday weekend coming up, so you can sleep in on Saturday unless you're on call.
So, since the middle of February, I've had 5 days off. No, excuse me. Since March 27th, I've had 4 days off. And, again, when you run your own show, yes, it should be protected at all costs, very much. When you run your own show, it's kind of hard to say no. If there's a service call or if somebody needs something in a pinch or if something small comes up, you jump on it. You know what I mean? You want to build you want to make people happy. Remember, if you can't make someone smile by the end of the day, get back out and try again. So I did plan to have Saturday, Sunday, and Monday off. But as of right now, there might be something that'll pop up. So if it happens, it happens. We don't have any plans to leave. We're not traveling until the summer. So, yeah, that's just the way it is, man. FC election. Stop.
They say Memorial Day weekend is the second busiest travel season of the year. Christmas supposedly is the first.
Yeah, that's what they say. Because everybody wants outside. Everybody's inside. They're tired of the winter. This is the first unofficial start to summer. So I believe, I get it. I understand.
Catching up comments. The dogs. Oh, he's cute. Or both of them.
In my zoo. They're sitting here sleeping right now.
Yeah, I have 2 cats in my house. They have stayed away so far.
We have a cat. We have a black cat and then 2 Jack Russells.
Ah, okay.
They're all best friends, man. They all wrestle each other and everything. They chase after one another. It's pretty awesome. It's good to have animals. Animals are amazing.
So what other games do you own besides Revolution X?
All right. So the awesome, gorgeous, hot Asian wife got me my first cabinet in September of 2018. That was Rev X.
Mm-hmm.
For about 8 months, I was on a tangent. 3 months later, I got Operation Wolf.
Mm-hmm.
3 months after that, I got a Mike Hagger. For anybody who doesn't know Mike Hagger, that's Final Fight, mayor of Metro City. It was also known one time that Mike Hagger invented giraffes. He just uppercutted the horse once. I have
Good night.
I have a chiller cabinet. I have In the Hunt. I have Blood Brothers, and I have a Pac-Man and a couple other machines. I have 2 Final Fights and a couple other Revolution X's, but I have the 7 separate cabinets right now. I'm forgetting.
Well, you mentioned Pac-Man.
Yes. It is their 44th.
That was yesterday.
I didn't know that. I knew it was this year, but I didn't know it was yesterday.
Yeah, I found out about it because Billy Mitchell was streaming last night.
I saw a thing for him pop up on Twitch. I didn't acknowledge it. I didn't access it, but I did see it pop up. Once in a while, I'll click on his stuff and join his stream just to watch him for a little bit. I like Billy. I don't know why everybody gives him a bad rap. He's never been rude or disrespectful to me, so I got no reason to not like the guy. He's amazing. He's awesome.
I get along with him too. I kind of stay out of the drama he's having with other parties.
Remember, don't start none, won't be none. You know what I mean?
Although I'm following all of it because it's interesting to watch. I do appreciate Billy for what he is. He has the quintessential. He has the pro wrestling villain.
Oh yeah,
mentality about him.
Speaking of wrestling, I got the for the 10th time the awesome hot Asian wife. She is a avid wrestling fan now. She really is. Like, we'll watch SmackDown and Raw on Mondays and Fridays, and sometimes when she doesn't like a match, she'll go, "This is so stupid. What are they doing?" And then she'll say something like, "Oh, he's going to win. Why would they make him drop the title? He's only been around for 2 or 3 months." And she says all these things. And I'm like, what the hell? How does she know this? And sure enough, every time she's like, "See, told you." I was like, are you fucking kidding me? How do you know all this? Look, he doesn't do this or blah, blah, blah. And she's right every single time. Even the boys, like, how do you know this? It's just really funny.
I was a wrestling fan since the 80s and kind of transitioning out of it. I was following the local scene quite a bit and involved in it, and then drama kind of pushed me out of it.
Understood.
Which at some point I'm going to be back in so I can then turn around and leave on my own terms, not the terms of an immature little kid who does grifts, finds any way to grift so he doesn't work as hard as everybody else to be, I guess, a wrestling superstar and bully his way to the top because he uses whatever social contagion that's popular on Twitter.
Yeah, I don't even know anything about that. The only thing I've got is Bookface, and that's so I can keep a track of
Bookface.
Not Facebook, Bookface. With Norbert Vale. Yeah, a few days after my birthday. Oh, okay, good stuff.
But even before my drama, I hardly watch anything on TV anymore. I used to watch wrestling on TV all the time. Now I'm the point in life where if I'm not there in person, it's like I don't have the patience.
No, I understand.
I don't even have cable anymore.
We don't have cable. Haven't had cable in years. We just have 2 apps, maybe 3, but definitely 2. Netflix and Hulu. Oh, and she's an accountant, and she works for Radio Free Asia, so she gets Amazon on her phone for free. So we only pay for Hulu and Netflix, which is for me. In case anybody wonders what this antenna is right here.
Let me widen the screen out.
For my radio.
Oh, I keep forgetting you're in portrait mode.
Yep.
So I keep pulling out thinking to get more of the screen. It's like, no, you're in portrait mode. Go ahead.
My radio, my jam box. I listen to it every day, every morning, every night. 10D batteries, still functional, 1986. So very old school mentality.
Yeah.
I'm yawning too. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, you're past your bedtime. So I gotta keep moving along because I don't want to keep you too late. Okay. Because you're an hour ahead. You're in Eastern time and I'm in Central time. So
10:30 here for you is 9:30.
Yeah. Yeah, and I got garage sales starting tomorrow. So we got our question. What is the story behind your first time at GGA? So how did you become familiar with Galloping Ghost?
So we started watching the videos in about middle to early 2017. For Christmas that year. This is before I got married, and everything. I was with Araya, but I wasn't married to her. I had asked Joey, because it was just me and him living together. I had asked him, I said, hey, we're not going to buy Christmas presents this year. We're going to travel. And I said to him, I said, you have three choices. You can pick New York, Southern California, or Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And he picked Chicago. And that was it. And January 13th, 2018 was my first day at the arcade.
Mm.
And
2018?
2018.
Okay. What was the first game you played?
Rev X, because I hadn't touched it in 10 years. And
okay.
So I had walked all around the building for about an hour and 20 minutes, an hour 30, because I mean, you remember back then it was like 670, and now we're at above 980. So you're talking 300 less, but it was still, it was magnificent. You'd never seen anything like that. And being a retro guy and seeing that for the first time, it just blows your mind. So it took me about an hour and 20 minutes walking around. Eddie, one of the former employees, Eddie, was working there at the time. He's a good kid. Miss that dude. Hope he's well. And I was playing Rev X, and he had came up to me after about me being there for, I would say about 2 hours now. And he comes up, he taps me on the shoulder. He goes, excuse me, are you Fat Chris from Baltimore? I said, yeah, what's up, dude? And he goes, the owner told me to give this to you. And I said, okay. So I looked inside of it, and it was 2 shirts, 2 hats, 2 coffee cups, 2 stickers, 2 everything. And that was, we don't even need to mention his name. We all know who the man is. We all know. If you're watching this, you don't know the man at Galloping Ghost, do your homework and look. We're not going to mention his name. Doc. But he's the man. And he actually helped me, he helped me get back into this arcade trade, if you want to call it that. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Right. Going back to the very beginning, what lured you to video games, and what was the first game you played?
It's going to be on a Nintendo. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's going to be an NES.
I guess the first game you played a lot of.
From what I remembered, it's going to be one of 4 games, and it's going to be Real Ghostbusters, Ring King, Arkanoid, or one more. I don't remember it, but it was at this place called Brizzy's Billiards in Laurel. It was a pool hall. They had about 6 or 7 arcade machines up, and that was, from what I remember, that was my first time of playing a game. I can't quite remember, but that's what it was.
So you played. So was it like a Play Choice 10 unit?
No, they're just separate cabinets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, remember the pool halls, they had video games in them. And arcade games. And that was one of the 3 that I played. There was a 4th, but I don't remember what it was. But I know Ghostbusters, I know Ring King, and I know Arkanoid. There was something else. Maybe one day it'll come to my mind. But yeah, I can picture the building now. The building is now a nonprofit for taking care of sheltered dogs. So yeah, it's good stuff.
A worthy cause.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
You have 2 of them.
Yeah.
So at some point, you became kind of a master at shooting games. What drew you to the shooters more than anything else?
I'm not Mr. NRA. I don't own a gun or anything like that. I was always that kid in elementary school that found crossword puzzles the fastest, that did word searches the fastest, that always won in Hangman, that always at anything like that. And with finding things, looking around, I was always quick at that. And I've always, from what I'm told, my vision is by my optometrist, my vision is pretty immaculate. He hasn't seen people with a lot of people with vision like me. And I don't know. I just like gun games. All of my world records, I have 10 or 11, but all of them but one are gun games. And the only one that's not is In the Hunt. So, yeah. But yeah, all gun games, man. I love gun games. I really do. I don't know why. I really don't know why. The next one is probably going to go for that I'm going to go for is probably going to be if you consider it a gun game, it's got a target in it. Is Spinal Breakers.
Yes, I'm very familiar with that one. Andrew took it from me, and I haven't been able to get back. Now, kind of the last couple levels are kind of actually 3. I basically need to get to the last level with grenades.
Well,
Enough.
I'll take Andrew down sometime soon.
Good luck. Andrew's relentless.
I know he is.
I mean, I have some slides on that, and I'll get to that later. You've traveled across the country. You've hit kind of arcades all over the country. We've actually crossed paths down at a gaming convention in Texas.
That's right. I remember that very, very well. I remember that.
I don't know how that happened, but I took the Amtrak down to Dallas. It's I went to this place, Free Play. I don't know if you made it there.
I did not, because I have words about the owner. I will keep that to myself, though. So
really, they kicked me out of their Facebook group for some reason, because I was trying to get them into the arcade wars, and I guess somebody got a little pennies in the wad.
Yep.
Regardless, I can't remember the name of the convention.
Let's Play.
It's not Free Play. Let's Play? Okay.
Play Expo. The man in charge is Christian Dietering. He is my best friend, and I met him at a gaming convention back in 2013, ironically. But I remember when you walked up to me, I had a GGA patch on.
Yeah.
On a vest that I have on now. This is Mark IV. I was wearing Mark II when I met you. And you had said, "Hey, I like your GGA patch." And it took me a second, because I've only been, in the GGA world for about 6 months at that point. Maybe a year and 6 months. So I haven't got all the lingo down. GGA, Galloping Ghost. Thanks, man. And then you introduced yourself, and here we are now.
And I also remember you wanted me to give Doc Mac a hug.
I forgot about the hug thing, because that's what drew back.
I did attempt it. So the first stream I was up there, I was wearing the Free Play T-shirt and talking about the trip down there, and passing word from you to Doc, and said it's like Chris wanted me to give you a Fat Chris hug. Well, Doc is not a hugger; he's a fighter.
Yes, he really is. Yeah, he drew back. He goes, "No hugging." He put this up just like that. That was amazing. That was glorious. So if anybody
would have done it, but he didn't want to do it. So
if anybody,
flip.
That was pushed by me initially, I guess you could say.
But all these the road trips across the country, where all have you gone to?
But we've been down to Atlanta. We've been down to we were in Vegas earlier this year. Back in November, we went to Niagara Falls. So we're in Silver Spring. I always say Baltimore, because nobody knows Silver Spring in Maryland. Moved to Silver Spring 5 years ago. Before that, in Laurel. But so we're kind of on the middle of the Atlantic seaboard. You know what I mean?
Right.
Went to Niagara Falls back in November, and they have an arcade at the bottom of Skylon Tower that not many people know of. They used to be one of the most badass arcades on the planet, because it had the games that you don't see anywhere. And they had an R360 there as well. So, I mean, I can only imagine what it looked like in its heyday. But they had a ring, no, not a Ring King, title fight. They had a Galaxy Force. They had an 8-car Daytona USA. They had a Sega Pro Bass Fishing that came out on Sega Dreamcast back in 2000 or 99. It was it was pretty gnarly. It really was to see that.
And I kind of remember that because I remember watching the video. In fact, oh, look what I found. There it is. Title fight.
Yep, there's Joey. Yeah, we played it. Yeah, that was back in November, man. That was amazing. Seeing that stuff, I had no idea. And thanks to shout out Ken Walker, Master Tech Ken Walker, my brother from another mother. He told us, he goes, yeah, go check out the basement of Skylon Tower. And that's all he said. And I said, what's going on down there? He said, there's some pretty cool things there. And that was it. So, yeah, that was it. And thank you. Shout out Ken, because if he didn't tell us to go, we wouldn't have went.
And you found somebody to fix that thing pretty quickly because it wasn't working at the time.
With it, yeah, something was wrong with it. And I mean, you know me, I'm always, I've got all my tools on me all the time. Where am I at? Where are we at? Right there. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready, kids. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Always keep tools on you so that way you have a prepared situation anywhere you go. But yeah, the lady, they didn't know what they were doing as far as the coin spot. The coin mech was messing up. So I just crossed, I crossed the phase on the coin mech and credit. And they gave us a whole bunch.
So tell me about the vest, the history about it, and because that is your persona.
After the vest story, I'm going to have to wrap it up because I got to be up at 6, sadly. So forgive me.
Okay, we'll go about 20 more minutes and then we'll be done because that's kind of why I planned for an hour, just so you can get to bed. So we'll have to run through the rest of this quickly.
In 2006, when I was doing flooring, I wasn't doing flooring. I was just helping somebody out. I was a kid. I was 22, 23. And back then, nowadays, people see everybody on job sites because it's an OSHA thing.
Mm-hmm.
Occupational Safety Hazard Awareness or Assessment. That's what OSHA stands for. So the point is to be seen. That's why they want you to wear high visibility things. Back then, it wasn't really prevalent. But if anybody's aware of National Harbor, which is where the Ferris wheel in DC is, that was a big project on a national scale because it was something major happening to the water, to the waterways of DC. So on that job, everybody had to become high visibility. They had to have high vis on. I didn't have anything like that. I was just a kid. So this older gentleman that came up to me, I don't know who he is to this day. He comes up to me when he heard that I didn't have anything, and he had said, do you need a vest? And I said, yeah, I do. So I said, I'll give it back to you at the end of the day. So he walks me over to his vehicle. Now, his vehicle at the time, some brand new, gorgeous, waxed, blacked out windows. I mean, a very beautiful vehicle. It was a Range Rover.
Mm-hmm.
So he pulls out this vest, and he hands it to me. And I said, dude, thanks, man. Where are you going to be at the end of the day? He goes, just keep it. I couldn't believe it. So I always look up things, I always look up, see where they come from, this and that and the other. I looked on the website that night, not the website, on the internet that night when I got home. It was a surveyor's vest, and they were valued at $90. So that's 06, 07. And I joined the electrical trade in 2011. So that vest stayed in my closet for about 4 or 5 years before I really used it. Mm-hmm. I started to see people wear vests as well, and I wanted to do something different. I'm a goofy, outgoing guy, so I put patches on it.
Yeah.
Started to become brittle and wear and tear, and so about 2016, 2017 is when I decided to get another vest, and I had actually found one. So I put it together. I put patches on it. Then after about 3 years, it becomes brittle. Can't wear
it. Wears out. Yeah.
People have seen it when my vest looked like crap.
Wears out.
I had actually found that vest by looking on the tag of the old vest after about 5 years of looking. So I called. It's this place in Oregon on the West Coast called Oregon Traffic Safety Supply. Shout out. Mm-hmm. I called, and this gentleman named Myron picked up. And I said, I need to speak to somebody who's been there at least 10 years. And he said, son, I've been here 35 years. What can I do for you? So I played the story for him. I explained it to him. And he had said, I have a box of those vests sitting behind me right now. I said, okay, I'll take one. Now, I only took one. Now it's 2016, 2017. I wasn't in the situation I'm in now. I'm very fortunate to be where I'm at now. Back then, I was having trouble rubbing two nickels together. So, fast forward to 2018, 2019. I go back to Traffic Safety Supply, Oregon Traffic Safety Supply, and I talked to Myron again. And I said, hey, I need another vest. He had told me, well, unfortunately, Chris, the lady who makes those vests retired. So you're talking Christmas of 2019, maybe 2020. This is at the start of the Heineken virus, not the coronavirus, the Heineken virus, for anybody who wants to know. So I had started to ask friends. I had said, you know, anybody who's a seamstress or anything of the sort, please, somebody contact me. And for Christmas that year, we're going to go backtrack to Christian. Keep him in mind. I get a box of mail, and it's from him, and I don't know what it is. And Christmas morning, I open it up, and there's an orange vest in the box. I was taken back. I couldn't believe it because I had been trying and trying and trying. And I called him. I said, dude, where did you find this vest? He goes, when you told me you found a vest in Oregon, I called the place the next day and said, hey, I need a vest too. And the guy had said to me, man, I've sold 2 of these vests and they've been sitting in these boxes for 5 years. What the hell is going on here? Well, that's Chris who called you, and I'm going to portray him at a convention or on Halloween and do a skinny Chris cosplay. He was going to build a vest and be skinny because me and him kind of resemble each other, except he's got 2 or 3 inches of height and about 150 less pounds.
Right.
So I had a vest, which was amazing. Then we now fast forward to we're in 24 now. So fast forward to late 23. It started to become wearing, it started to become brittle. So this is Mark III starting to take a dump. At that time, I didn't know where else to go. So I called the owner. I called the place again. And I had said a person had picked up this lady. So I had said, hey, can I speak to the owner of Oregon Traffic Safety Supply? This is regarding a vest. You guys don't make them anymore. I will pay money, big time. And so she said, well, he's busy at the moment. Is there anything I can do? I'm actually director of sales here. So I told her the story, and she had, that's my dog, forgive me. So
amazing. Cats have not crashed the stream, which is first time in a while.
So she had told me, well, look, let me take your info. What's up, dude? Good to see you. She had taken my info and said, I'll call you back in a couple of days. So I didn't hear anything, and I didn't hear anything. All of a sudden, I get a phone call back. Now, mind you, when the guy Myron years ago said he had a box of them, he had them all in XX. And I'm thinking, that's the size I wear. Keep that in mind.
Right.
She said, yeah, I found a box of them. I said, okay. I didn't have high hopes. I really didn't. I was thinking they were just a bunch of mesh vests that you see all the time. And I said, all right, that's cool. Where did you find them? Oh, they were in the back of the warehouse. All right. What size are they? They're XX.
Perfect. I need a couple of
them. Could you send me a picture of them? And she said, sure. So she emails me a picture. Man, I'm haggard. That's how the end of the day right there, kiddies. So she had sent me a picture of it. And it was the same vest I bought from Myron 4 or 5 years before. I couldn't believe it. And so I asked her, there was another person who was doing some sort of accounting or something that he had an iPhone. So I FaceTimed him so I could show them my vests because we hadn't seen, and they had heard stories about this guy calling up about vests from the East Coast because they had been there for years. And when the phone answered, it was the owner on the other end. He goes, hey, man, I heard you're looking for a vest. And he had a vest on. And I couldn't believe it. I said, where the hell did you get those? I said, good to meet you, blah, blah, blah. He goes, man, there's a box of these sitting in the warehouse. And I just threw a number. I said, I'll give you $1,000 for that box. He says, no, keep your money. I'm going to send them to you.
So you have a whole box full of vests.
Whole box. And it was one of those moments that made me have a really big anticipation of hope for humanity, because I don't know this guy. He's a CEO of a traffic safety supply company. They make big money from the West Coast. He wouldn't take my money. He said,
Hang on, you're breaking up. Hold on.
no problem.
Yeah, start your answer again. Yeah, it was like cutting every other word out for some reason.
Is that better?
Yeah.
So I said, this guy, I'm nobody. I'm just some peasant. I'm some idiot from the East Coast that likes orange vests and puts dumb patches on them. But he said, I'll give them to you. And he said, there's 13 in this box, and I get them. There's 14 of them. So the first thing I did was I sent one back to Christian in Texas. Mm-hmm. Now, if anybody's watching, Christian will be at the GGA anniversary. That's August 13th of this year. This year is the 14th anniversary. So, tall, skinny guy, blonde hair. When you see him, walk up to him and tell him, go Aggies, because he hates Texas Aggies. And if you do that and you get a reaction, I'll give you $5.
Okay.
That to Christian.
If I remember.
I had, he sent me the vest, and I sent him one back, and he was blown away. Where the hell did you find these? So I explained the situation to him. But the point is, I have 13 vests. This time, I took 2 out, one for work, one for play, so that I don't beat the hell out of them for both. They're both outfitted with denim on the inside because, fat guys beat things up a lot more. Mm-hmm. That's it. They both have tool pockets. You know what I mean? It's I love my vests. It brings smiles to people's faces too. People, oh, I see that vest. Oh, you got Lost Boys patch. What's the ghost on the horse right there? Oh boy, have you got 20 minutes?
I gotta throw this up here because this is the trailer for the one of the trailers for Ghost Lord
documentary.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, that's me showing off with the belt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping I get another shot with the belt, but
shout outs to Ed.
That's Ed Palantic. There's the Gamer of the Decade, Jimmy Slice. And we finish up with you.
Playing Operation Wolf 3 right there. Yep.
Yeah, and I'm going to put in some more time on that one the next time I'm up there, and there we go.
Yep.
Perfect shot of the vest.
Great shot right there. Shout outs to Craig Bass and Lydia. Those two are amazing. Those are amazing beings. And check out Ghost Lord and the Quest for Dark Presence.
All right. I'm going to have to run. So we're going to about 8 minutes left.
Go for it.
For top of the hour. So we're going to rapid fire these questions.
Please.
Someone asked, have you ever tried shoot 'em ups? That is shumps.
Shmups. So I'm a big fan of the older ones. Like I like old, as in like 1942, 1943. One of my records is a shmup. It's actually In the Hunt. It's the underwater Contra-esque game made by IRAM.
Yep.
In 1991.
Yep.
It's a good shout outs to another shout out. So the reason that game came across is because I had saw it at the arcade years ago, and then I brought it to the attention of my arcade buddies that I met at Let's Play. They call him the Doc. He's actually an oncologist down in the Dallas area. His name is Estel. He is an avid arcade collector, and he had told me, he goes, you like In the Hunt? I didn't know you liked that game. Yeah, I got a board at the house. I'll give it to you. I had no idea that it was $1,000 board. And he wouldn't let me pay him for it. And I practiced it for about 2 or 3 years. And then I took it over from, I think Mr. Jamie Tibbetts had it at 575,000 or something.
Wow.
I took it at 670 or something like that. But yeah, shmups. I'm a fan of them. Not too big of a fan, but I can dig them.
So you are coming out for anniversary. Are you going to enter T20?
I'm going to enter the building where T20 is being played because I'm going to bring Weber's and probably pizzas, but I'm not going to play in the tournament.
Oh, the pizzas. You bring pizza. You buy pizzas for GGA staff almost every Monday. What got you started on that one?
I've only sent 2 or 3 in the past couple of months because, it's somebody. I've sent enough. I've spent enough money. It's somebody once in a while could do something else, but once in a while I don't mind. Not as much as I used to.
Who has the best pizza in Chicago?
Pequod's all day.
Pequod's?
Okay. I don't care what anybody says. I bought a koozie and I turned it into a patch. If you don't know what Pequod's Pizza is, get yourself together. Type in Pequod's Pizza Chicago. Ironically, in February, when we visited Chicago this year, elite Yelpers had just put out a list about a week before that put out the top 100 pizza joints in the country, and Pequod's was number 1. So, Todd Pepin, he knows. My boy Todd. Ken Walker, he knows. Stevie Dubs from up in near Detroit in Michigan, he knows. I'm trying to get a whole group of us to go to Pequod's the day before the Ghost, before the anniversary. So
it'll be a Monday, game 1000.
Anybody? No, I'm not paying for you, but I'm just trying to get a group of us to go. So that's kind of a thing. If anybody wants to go, just ask me a question. I'm gonna see what I can do as far as getting like 15 people in there.
Okay, so Gamer of the Year.
Oh, I forgot.
August 13th. Right now, the chase for the Gamer of the Year title is still pretty wide open. Although I have odds on Andrew, someone beating Zurst for the T20 title, or nobody gets it. But I also put you in there. About a 5% chance, as well as myself and several other people. My question to you is, if you were chosen as the Gamer of the Year, which game would you put on the arcade floor?
That is a question I've never been asked before. I wouldn't be able to answer it.
Is there a game
that's not on the floor that I like? It's going to be the stupidest game that you're going to think of, and it's called Road Riot.
They actually have it.
They do. Wait a second. We just had it a couple of months ago. I remember. Yes.
I was thinking Title Fight would be your choice.
I mean, you put me on the spot. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of the old game. Got Title Fight. All the games that I ever wanted to play, he's put out. Spy from something Spy Slice. No. Super Spy.
Spy or Super Spy, yeah.
Geo, he put that out. He put out Ring King. Title Fight is a huge game, and I wouldn't even think of saying that because that would take up space of 4 or 5 cabinets, and I would never want that to be on the floor unless we get a second floor to the building, which I hear and what he has announced. That's what we're looking at soon. So
we'll see. If you were picking game 1000, what would that one be, or what do you think it will be?
Dark Presence.
You think it's Dark Presence? You don't think Doc would do its own separate event for it?
If I was to pick it, that would be me. Now, I'm not in that man's head. That guy has got more going on than, oh my God, than any president that's ever been around. Got a full head of hair, and he's not stressed, and he smiles from ear to ear 24/7 is beyond me. So I can't tell you what else would be there, but that's what I would pick. That's just me personally.
It has been a popular answer, I'll tell you that much. Question: thoughts on the Bloody Wars tournament?
Bloody Wars. So I've contributed a couple of times to be in it because I want to see the numbers jump. I want to see people get in there. I want to see things happen. If we put like MK3, there might be some contention from me. But any other game, as far as fighting games, I don't deal in that world too much, so I can't.
Well, they did MK4, but they didn't do MK3. So
that'd be nice if MK3 was done. during the time that I was there. But, I'm only there a couple times a year, and you can't expect people to do everything when you're there. You know what I mean? I'm just there to play games, buy some pizzas and some Webbers, say what's up to everybody, and head back to the greatest state of all.
All right. Future goals
in life or at the arcade?
In gaming, well, can be both gaming or they said they did MK3 at the second Blade Wars tournament. So,
oh, okay. That's Norbert, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so. What up, Norbert? Good to see you, homie. I'll see you in August. If you got the title, boo, Norbert. I hope you're well.
You weren't doing it out of spite. You were just doing it because he's a champion. He has a belt, and it's just like a pro wrestler.
That's it.
Any pro wrestler. If I had my Pinball Expo belt, you'd be doing the same thing.
Of course.
And my cat finally crashed the screen.
I see. There he is.
Well, that's Angel. She's the well-behaved one.
Okay.
The orange one is the one that causes problems. I'm glad she arrived.
The arcade. I mean, I just want to see everybody smile, dude. I want to see everybody happy. You walk in that building, and if you're not smiling, you're in the wrong place, or you need to rethink your life. There's something in that building. That building is magical, and I don't know how much better it can get. So, whatever goals that the boss has, I hope that because I fully support him.
Look who showed up.
The orange one. Hey, Trouble.
Yes, Cody, the Crasher.
Cody.
And I did emotes for him. Yes, I have all these doggone emotes, and yeah.
That's really funny.
Well, these are like default ones in Twitch. It's like, you know what? Why design my own when I already got these pre-made default ones and they fit?
That's funny. I like that.
All right. Do you have a trading card?
Nah, I'm not going to worry about that. Oh, from you, yes. I thought.
Well, trading cards, any trading cards of you.
Oh, I thought you meant that I have your trading card.
You probably do have my trading card, but I was wondering if there's a Chris Blucher trading card.
So it's. I've been told by my two friend Timmy and Tommy, the TNT twins. I call them dumbasses, but they are very near and dear to my heart, and I do anything to help them. I do anything for them. They had both told me, dude, you should get look at that. Look at that right there. Yeah, boy. That's what's up, man. Right there. My boys, Timmy and Tommy. Yeah, they remind me of me if I was single, without kids. And they both have hearts of gold. Anything I would ever need or question, they would always be there for me. 100%. I love those two from the bottom of my heart. They had both said to me, dude, you should get a trading card, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't think too much about it. And now that you're asking about it, maybe one day I will. You never know.
Todd Friedman, he's your man.
It's got to say Fat Chris on there. It's not going to say Chris Blucher. It's going to say Fat Chris.
Well, they'll put your full name and the nickname in there, but yeah.
Okay. All right.
They'll put Fat in quotes and then the rest of your name. But
okay.
Any upcoming appearances?
No, just in August. I mean, again, me running my own company, I don't have the time that I used to. Got to take care of everybody here and keep FC Electrical afloat. It's not drowning, but keep it up there. I got to get it to the next level that it's at now. I'm very fortunate to say that my books, as a single man electrical company, my books are full until June 13th. People are waiting 2 and 3 weeks for me to come by and just do something simple and minor. And there's other companies that'll come out there and charge them less and get it done quicker, but people want to wait for me, and I'm very fortunate. I really am. So the only time I'm going to be making an appearance at the Ghost for the foreseeable future is during the anniversary week. We'll be flying in probably the evening of August 9th. That's a Friday. And then we're going to be leaving out around noon Wednesday the 14th. Me and my brother Todd Pepin, we're going to be flying out around the same time. So anybody wants to catch up with Todd also, Todd Pepin, he's a monster at Dragon's Lair. He can play Dragon's Lair blindfolded and beat it. and he also can do that on Cliffhanger. He has a impairment in his eyes, and there's just something about those two games that he can just excel at, unlike nobody else. Oh, and he's a beast on DDR. You can see a guy that's 5'7", 300 pounds, move fast, put a DDR in front of that fool, and you'll see him move faster than a fat guy at a buffet.
All right. It's now past 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock your time, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up so you can get to bed and get ready for work tomorrow. I got the day off, so I kind of planned things out a little bit, but one final shot.
I truly appreciate you bringing me on, man. It was an honor. Yep, there's us at the toy show over that's at Timonium Fairgrounds, where the Maryland State Fair is. That's Timmy. We saw him. That's Joey rocking his GGA shirt. And as you see, man, my vest, it doesn't come off. Got my Decepticon shirt on. Good stuff. That's a great picture. I like that picture. I really do.
Oh, gosh. Here's an electronic question. I don't know if you know the answer to this one. That's Mossy's, by the way.
Is it okay to use 12-gauge wire on a 15-amp breaker further down the line when it's initially using 14-gauge wire? Yes, you can, because your breaker is only maxed out at 15 amps. When you have any kind of amperage on anything, you have to keep the amperage at the max that the smallest wire is on that circuit. So if you have a 10 wire, which holds 30 amps, you have a 15 wire, a 12 wire that holds 20 amps, you have a 14 wire that holds 15 amps. If you have all those wire sizes on one circuit, the maximum amount of amperage breaker that you can have is the smallest wire, which is the 15 amp number 14 wire. So to answer your question, Mossies, yes, you can.
All right. Chris, thank you for joining me tonight. I'll have to have you back because there will be other things that I didn't get to, like
all good.
One of your visits to Tucky's place.
Save all the questions, man. We'll do it again. We'll do it this summer before we go to the Ghost.
All right.
Be in touch with me.
Right.
Enjoy your evening. And thank you again. Anybody who tuned in, thank you. Please say hi, all that good stuff. Can't wait to see everybody. Can't wait to pass out hugs, squeeze you tight, give you big hugs, and say what's up. Definitely.
All right.
All right, dude.
Chris, have a good night.
Next time, man. Remember, if you can't make someone smile by the end of the day, get back out and try again. All right?
All right.
Later.
See ya. All right. I do have some stuff to talk about before I get out of here. And somebody asked a couple of questions. Are they still doing those trading cards? Absolutely. Old School Gamer, Todd Freeman, they are basically they are announcing new cards every year, practically every month. There's a gamer out there that needs to get some recognition out there. And, you know, I've been kind of suggesting multiple times that Tracy Gleave should get her trading card. She's the best female joust player in the world. So that would be her. That'd be a reason for her to get a card. A couple of things I want to show off before I get out of here. Obviously, yes, Combo Breaker is this weekend, Memorial Day. Yes, Norbert, you definitely do need to get a card. Combo Breaker is this weekend tonight. So good luck to everybody and all the fighting game tournaments in Schaumburg, Illinois. That'll be a lot of fun. Somebody's asking who's my guest for next week. Hold on for one moment. Yes, Norbert Vale will be a Combo Breaker tomorrow, so good luck with you. Good luck. Represent the Bloody Wars and crush the competition. We'll see how far you get into the tournament. I don't know how many players you're going to be up against, but dozens and dozens and dozens, maybe a few hundred anyway. First weekend of June is the Illinois Game Con in Bloomington Normal. I will be there again. That's a close drive for me. Oh, he's going for just the hell of it. All right, fair enough. Be going to Illinois Game Con. That's been going for, gosh, I don't know how many years. I guess this is 7 or 8 now. Quite a bit, yeah. quite a bit of fun. It's a one-day convention. In fact, last year, the Bally Midway Legends all got together. They rented the Airbnb at above the Arcadia, America's Playable Arcade Museum. So I got the first time I was able to go into that building and see how that place is, and it is absolutely awesome. Also, the Missouri Game Con, that will be last weekend of July. I will be back. I've been to almost all of them, except for one or two due to scheduling conflicts. I'll have my own vendor table. I'll be taking stuff to sell out there again and signing my trading cards and showing off the title belt, as well as talk about my podcast. So who's my guest next week? Well, let me get to this first. Blade Wars Tournament, Sunday, June 23rd, 4 p.m. start. Okay, so I have a little announcement on this one. I think I'm going to sit this one out. And the reason why I'm going to sit this one out, I haven't been able to get back up to the Ghost for the past, I wanted to go this weekend, but right now I don't have my regular transportation. I'm using my trophy car, my Geostorm, to get around town to and from work because I loaned the Prius out to somebody in need so they could get to work, but they have further to drive than I do. So kind of making a sacrifice to help somebody out, help a friend out. So I'm going to be around the area, or going to be around town all week, Memorial Day weekend, but I have other stuff to do, so it's all good. I will say this though, I think I need to cut a new promo, and I'll be talking about, well, me sitting out of Blade Wars, but you know, I've taken the beating in the rankings lately, and you know, I'm going to pull this back. I have to backtrack a little bit. Yeah, I'm sitting at number 14. I don't like that too much. I need to get some ground back, but I haven't been able to get back to the arcade. I know last week's guest, Eric Prohl, moved up to 9th all by himself. Brian Skillo lost Gunsmoke to a newcomer, so, or somebody who's in every once in a while, but is not well known yet, at least on the local gaming scene. Maybe I'll get to know him later time. Fat Chris, of course, is sitting at 18th place. As for the best of 7 challenge, you know, I got to get back up to the arcade first. That's the main thing. I don't know when I'm going to get up there. That's the problem. If I can get back up there, then I'm probably going to be up there the weekend of Blade Wars. I will just not be participating in the tournament. I may do some commentary on the mic, perhaps. That might be an option, but I don't know yet. But we'll have to see. But I definitely need to regain ground. A couple of years ago, I was in this position. I was knocked down to 14th, 15th place in my campaign for Gamer of the Year, and I had lost a couple of dozen scores all at once, and it hurt. Oh, trust me, JP. I'm skipping Dragon Ball Z because I haven't been able to play it. Now, I can play Power Stone because it is on Fightcade, so I will be practicing on Power Stone. So, you know what? Don't count me out. I will start learning Power Stone once we get a date on the next Blade Wars tournament. So, and then we'll have our best of 7 challenge. But who is my guest for next week? Well, he has been to Galvin Ghost before. He did a video where he toured the place and ended up getting lost. He couldn't find his way out of the building, strangely enough. I had a few skirmishes with him. I played against him at Missouri Game Con in a challenge on my 1991 Nintendo Campus Challenge cartridge. And I lost somehow because you have to play all 3 games for your score to qualify. and there was prizes on the line. So there was a high scoring contest, but I tried to do a little bit too much point pressing, and then I had a problem making a skill shot at Pinbot, and then I ran out of time. And he got a rare victory. So who is it? It's this man. 8-Bit Brody, the gamer formerly known as 8-Bit Brody. Brody Howell, who recently retired the character. I asked him if he would do my podcast, I asked him if he's done anybody's podcasts lately, and he says he hadn't done very many of them. So I asked him if he would do mine, and his schedule works out where he can do my podcast next week, so he will be in. Call it the exit interview of sorts. He does have a YouTube channel, 8-Bit Brody. He's kind of the used car salesman of video gaming. But if you don't know this guy, you might want to check out some of his content on his YouTube channel. He's done this for about 10 years and recently retired, so I'll be glad to have him in and talk gaming with him and his career as a YouTuber. But he called it quits recently and moving on with life. And so, pull that exit interview. I wish to do that exit interview, reminisce, and talk about our past history and gaming exploits. It'll be a fun time. And I think everybody will enjoy it. I'll be doing some prep on that over the weekend. All right. Oh, we got yes. I'll be talking about him doing his trade up. One of his gimmicks was trading up from a copy of Konami's Double Dribble, and he would trade up to something slightly more valuable and just work his way up to see how valuable a game he can trade up to by the end of the video. And by the way, speaking of Double Dribble, they did re-add that to the arcade floor when they opened up Canton. So that is back available, the Konami arcade game. But I don't own a copy of Double Dribble. There is a Sega Genesis version too, the second season. Well, don't want to know. Well, we'll see. I don't know. Anyway, let's see. Oh, wait a minute. We're going to raid a channel here. So that'll be next week here on the program. I'm going to raid a channel. Let's see if I can get this going. I'm going to be rating. Oh, I think he ended. I'm going to be rating a colleague. Till next time, yes, we're going to start the raid. Till next time, I'll be running again at 9 o'clock next week. I will be streaming an hour before Galvin Ghost stream at 4 o'clock on Memorial Day. So we're going to be raiding a brother Ford. He was actually a former coworker of mine. He is playing Final Fantasy VII, so we're heading over. And until next time, Mad Conservative Crime Fighter. Have a good night, everybody.